Look what we have here. Yamaha box. Gee, I wonder what's in it. Yes, I'm finally going to explain why the Yamaha. First of all, I wanted to mention that my music video, Flawless Victory, is coming out tomorrow, Friday, May 1st, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, right here on my YouTube channel. Would love if y'all could just be there to join the premiere, support my new release, and my full album, Lessons in Adolescence, also drops tomorrow. Please check it out. But we're here to talk about the Yamaha. So let's unbox this one, and then I will talk about all of them. So this particular one is in the color blue, which is a very rare color for the Yamaha RGX A2. I rarely ever see them. I came across this one and bought it. I think it has some minor damage in the body here, a couple nicks and scrapes, but good thing I have another one. Nice and minty and blue. Overall, I now have 13 of these guitars. Most of them in white. I have a black one, two blue ones, and a red one. Red is also a very rare one to find, so when I come across the rare colors, I like to buy them. I already have a bunch of white ones, obviously, but to touch on why I love this guitar so much, we have to go back a few years. So the original story of why I fell in love with this guitar. So back in my early 20s, which was a while ago, I'm old. We're not going to talk about how old I am. I was a poor mofo. I didn't have a lot of money. I think I mentioned in other videos, like I grew up poor and I've sort of had to hustle to get to where I am. But back in my early 20s, when this guitar roundabout was available, came into production, was available in stores, I went to a guitar center and picked one of these up. And it was the most I don't know how to explain it. It was a liberating experience playing this guitar. I picked it up. It's super light. It's one of the lightest guitars of its class when it came out. Um, it played so well, but at that time, I couldn't afford it. I walked away from that guitar center without that guitar, wanted it so bad, and from that point forward, I vowed that when I came across adult money, that I was going to own one, at least one. Um, and for a long time, I actually forgot about the guitar. I was focusing on my career and my music, played a ton of other guitars along the way. Um, and about 4 years ago or so, maybe three, um, I remembered this guitar. And so um, I decided to buy one. I found a nice minty one from Japan at an affordable price and had it shipped to me. And upon receiving it, it was instant love. I remembered why I loved the guitar so much. Um, and during, my research, getting back into the guitar, like I just discovered how unique and ahead of their time these guitars were, and how hard they are to find in mint condition. I think, when you look these guitars up on Reverb and eBay, there's not a ton of them out there in great condition. In fact, any one you can find for like under $1,000 or $800 or somewhere in that ballpark, they're usually beat up, nicks, dents, scratches, bad wiring, all of that stuff. So I've pretty much made it a point when I come across a minty one to just buy it. And then I made the conscious decision to like build a whole wall of these, and I have a rack over here that has they're full of them too. So I have plenty of other guitars that are not Yamahas, Um, but I think it's very evident that I love this guitar. I've gone so far as to customize a few of them. You know, um, typically, when you plug them in, they're lighted up blue and green, and they come with these passive P90 style pickups. Whereas my favorite one that I have in low tunings for my RAVVIT music and other bands that I'm in, um, I have one with active EMGs and custom pink LED lights, which also turn to white. And that's just my flavor. So, why is this guitar so unique? Um, it was ahead of its time. I believe they came out in around about 2005. They stopped production in around about 2015. They just weren't appreciated for what they were when they came out. Yamaha in general, although they're certainly still popular to this day, and I think a lot of guitar players are starting to realize that Japanese made guitars are superior in a lot of ways. Just the engineering and the craftsmanship of Yamaha and most Japanese guitar makers was really high up there. But for this guitar having come out in 2005 was way ahead of its time. And a little bit about the unique properties of the guitar is weight distribution and the way it is assembled. So it is a very light guitar. It is probably on average 20-30% lighter than your Strats. Your it's probably 40-50% lighter than a Gibson Les Paul. But the way it is constructed is there are 3 layers in the body. There are 2 hardwood layers that are thin. We're talking like a 1/4 inch thick on the top and bottom. In the center mass of the guitar is a light wood. Um, and so when you're talking about weight, it is structurally strong because it is like composite pressed between 2 pieces of hardwood. And then, in addition to that, for resonance, the bridge of the guitar has 3 screws that go from the top to the bottom, front to back. And so, when we're talking about resonance of the guitar and the strings and throughout the body, there's basically poles that go from the top of the bridge out to the back of the guitar. You can actually see the 3, I guess you would call them screws, but they're basically metal chambered, um, cylindrical shape that go from the front to the back. The screw is only to set it and keep it tight to the body. And so when you're talking about playing the guitar and the resonance of the guitar from the bridge, it is actually acting throughout the body, with the body being a very light, near hollow type wood, crammed between 2 pieces of hardwood. Um, and then on top of that, um, obviously the pickups are amazing. They're actually passive pickups. A lot of people think that they're active pickups because of the LED lights. Um, with regard to the lights, a lot of people think that the pickups are active because of the lights, but the battery in the guitar actually only controls the lights. The pickup selector is the bottom knob, which was very different for its time. Most guitars come with a selector switch. A lot of people don't like this selector switch because if they're playing, they have to like move their hand all the way down here. Um, but I'm a bridge pickup snob, and I barely change the pickup to the neck pickup. But obviously, like middle position is both pickups split between the two. and then the other knob is just volume, right? Um, and the overall design, not only is it light and airy and feels great to play, um, it's got a smooth neck back. It's got a lightweight neck and head, and so that you don't have a lot of drift when you're playing. There's not a lot of the weight distribution on it's great. And then the tuners. So standard guitar tuners use regular pegs or whatever, and these are sort of barrel shaped cylindrical type tuners, and I think they are amazing. In fact, I love them so much I've installed them on like 5 other guitars I have. I wish they were locking tuners, but that technology really wasn't prevalent back in the day. They do have locking tuners that do have these barrel knobs, but essentially when you're tuning the guitar or even restringing the guitar, you're twisting it like a pencil, and it goes really quick and it feels really smooth. And so rather than sitting there and then twisting your hand for a full rotation when you're trying to string up the guitar, you're just sitting here twisting, and it goes really quick and it feels really good. In general, it just sounds great. I've played this guitar on so many records. I've played this guitar live. I've played this guitar in my videos. It's just a solid guitar. Are there things I would improve or change? Absolutely. In 2026, there are a multitude of new innovations and technologies that have come out in guitars that do surpass this. However, when you think back to 2005, this guitar being on the market was sort of crazy sauce. I just think for its time and for what it is innovative. I love the clean look. It reminds me of like the Apple Macs, the desktop Macs, or even just like iPods and stuff from back in the day. It just has that early 2000s millennial look to it. And if you haven't learned this about me yet, that's where I like to live. I miss that era. I think it was a great time in life and society, and I miss the design aesthetic from that era. And I think this guitar is just the epitome of all that. So that is my story about the Yamaha. So if anyone has any questions about this guitar or more questions about why I love it so much, I'm sure I'm forgetting things. There's a lot about this guitar to love. There are other videos on YouTube, walkthroughs, playthroughs, things of that nature. But if you just think it's cool and you like what I'm doing, keep following me and watch me play them, because I got 13 of them. Thanks for watching.